Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the making. This is flight TM014. I'm your Captain Zege speaking. I'm with my co-pilot Mhausa. We are using runway critical thinking as per usual, and as we are about to take off, fasten your seatbelt, put your seats in an upright position, close your overhead stowages, and get ready for the takeoff. Our destination today is an interesting one. China's disruption in the global motor industry.
Yes, sir.
As we cruise to our independent thinking destination about the disruption that China has caused in the motor industry, we would like you to be with us. We will share our views and enjoy the flight with us, my brother. We live in such an interesting time now in SA.
So a general tip.
Yeah. We have our roadmap planned, ready for you to give you what you need. Let's start with the structure of our roadmap, which would be the key role players or who are also participants in the global automotive industry.
Yeah, I guess how we've cooked it is quite simple and straightforward. We want to discuss the global industry in terms of its size, value-wise, and probably the units, as well as the touch on the different types of automobile that are produced that we're talking about, you know.
Yes.
And then we also discuss the few terminologies so that as we dive deep into it,
you have an idea of what we are talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, that's basically the first aspect. And the second one is just a little bit of China's background in terms of between in the 1900s, 1990 to 2000s, what were they doing in terms of the automobile?
Yeah, where do they stand in that era?
What are they doing?
That comparison will actually help us to identify the element of disruption.
Yeah, but after that, we then get into their key influencers, which is then three. Three is key aspects that help them to really become formidable, wrecking force that we know them to be today. What were the things that contributed to their trajectory?
Yeah, and I think the information we're about to share today is actually parallel to the making, because they planted their seed then to be in the position that they are in now.
Yeah, they're futuristic, they are deliberate, they are organized, they know their competitive advantage, and they know their relative advantage. Relative meaning things that it's common to them and others, and they know how to spot absolute advantages to other countries and bring them in. We want to be discussing that in how they really explored and partnered with those that are better or greater than them.
Exactly. That is why then we are going to start by mentioning the key role players in this whole automotive industry.
Just before you come in, remember we mentioned the global industry, the background of China's involvement in the automobile, and then the key influencers. I just wanted to finish that.
Go ahead.
Roadmap. And then we get into the desktop. In the desktop, we're going to be doing a little bit of comparison and bring statistics and cost of their cars relative to somewhat in comparison to what we generally know, and discuss the list of cars. There's like approximately 41, but we're not going to touch on those 41.
Yeah, we will do a comparison, a summary of the comparison. Yeah, we won't go too much deeper into that because of time.
Yeah.
And
and then from it desktop, which is a bit of stats and comparison,
our 1 minute pitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then from 1 minute pitch, I'm not sure how you are looking, how you want to because we hardly discussed this thing in advance.
I think let's keep the 1 minute pitch as general as we always do. that you will mention what you think maybe, is more relevant to what you were addressing. And
yeah, I know what I'm going to pitch is why we will struggle to catch up. Why South Africa or Africa is going to have a problem to catch up with what we would have discussed.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I mean, my 1 minute.
Your 1 minute pitch.
It's why Africa is going to have a tough time to catch up.
My 1 minute pitch would be the link between the political state, which has assisted them, their identity, and the capital mechanism that they have used a triangle strategy.
So what we can just reduce it to a simplistic title is that you will elaborate or emphasize their competitive advantage.
Well, you've put it better than me. We'll discuss these competitive advantages. That would be my 1 minute pitch.
We would of course touch on it. He will then summarize it in your 1 minute pitch.
Yeah.
What makes them unique?
What makes them unique? Yes.
That's the simplest way. Yeah. Without this, what makes China unique? Or a formidable force, if you like. So that's going to be a 1 minute pitch, and then we do take home. Take home, of course, comes as after discussion. You'll never know what you take home in advance.
Yeah.
And then descend.
Yeah, I think that's
item number 7.
Yes.
So yeah.
That is our structure for today.
Yeah, the industry. Let's start with the interesting part first. Then we want to break it down.
Yeah.
And it is, according to what we've researched, it's about the value of the industry. It's about 4.5 to 4.6 trillion. Those are the estimates, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll discuss how it's composed in terms of the value chain components of it, but that's where we start. That's how big this industry is. And we're talking of registration vehicles about 37 to 38 million.
Yeah,
And
those are big numbers.
And those are big numbers. As well as things that you must be mindful of, we'll be talking about electronic vehicles, so short for EVs. We'll be talking about ICE,
which would be
internal combustion
our
engines.
Internal combustion. So we'll put together both the petrol and the diesel under one name.
Petrol and diesel, yeah, means
ICE. We'll put it under ICE.
Talks about combustion. Anything that has combustion, it's ICE. Ne? So ICE is internal combustion engine, and we're also going to be maybe touching on a terminology that is called HEV, which is a hybrid.
Yes.
Yeah, which is the hybrid of both the EVs and the ICE type of vehicles, right?
Mm.
And then we have the sizes in terms of cars or maybe categories, if you like, from your SUVs.
Yeah, to your
sports utility, which is then sedan, pickup trucks, hatchbacks, crossovers, wagons.
Did you mention the SUVs?
Minivans, sports, SUVs, which is sports utility vehicles, right? We're not going to be technical about some of these things. So in the context, by and large, and then who are the key role players? We can pitch it.
So in essence, this disruption that is existing, that is real, that we know about, is basically the Chinese reshaping the global motor industry.
That's why the word disruption.
Platform.
That's why we said disruption. And that's why we chose the word global. So yes, as we go to explore the elements of disruptions, we need to also factor in the fact that they are key role players.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
By country, it's USA, China, Japan,
Germany.
I think India is there as well.
Yeah, India is there
South
as
Korea,
well,
South
and
Korea.
South Korea is there with their 100 years.
Yeah, and China's world largest producer. Actually, it takes greater than 30%
Yeah, they at the moment they are the leader
of the global outputs.
They are the leader in
Yeah.
the global exporting market,
Yeah.
especially on the automotive industry.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
So that's basically that. And other, in terms of brand, it's Volkswagen, Hyundai, Stellantis, EGM, right?
Yes,
So
those are the normal
typical.
brands that were dominant before.
No, not necessarily. We're saying key role players by country, we've mentioned them.
Yeah.
Key role players by brand.
Okay.
Yes.
By brand,
Yeah.
which
BMW,
goes together.
Audi,
Yeah,
Mercedes.
we know that BMW, Audi, Mercedes are German brands.
Yeah.
Porsche,
Yeah.
VW,
Yeah.
they're all German brands.
Toyota.
Toyota, it's your Japan,
Yeah.
right? And then South Korea, it's your Hyundai.
Yeah.
And then
Kia.
Kia and Hyundai is South
Yeah,
Korea,
yeah.
right? And then Japan is Lexus and Toyota,
Yeah.
right? And then your US would be your the GMC, your General
Lexus
Motors.
is not from
No, Lexus is Japan. No, it's not States.
Okay.
Chef. Yeah, Chev is US.
Yeah.
Yes, I know definitely. Tesla, okay, US as well. So those are the key players.
And then in China, we've got Chery, just the typical brands.
Yeah, we'll be discussing the common brands that are familiar.
Not the new ones.
No.
There's old ones, in actual fact.
Are you talking about? No, let's talk about the new ones because
No, we're gonna go to the new ones later on when we discuss them. Chery, Chery QQ, Chery Tiggo, Chery A3, Jack, JAC motors. Those are the typical cars that actually were introduced by China between 1990s to 2000.
That's quite interesting. 1990 to 2000 is.
Yeah, these are
what?
the first models that were introduced by China.
This is 10 years. Am I correct?
Yeah, between 1990
and 2000
and
is
2000
10
is meaning 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
To recent times.
So they have managed to come up with quite a few number of vehicles in a very short space of
We
time.
can safely say that's the reference or starting point. Compacted SUVs and crossovers through Chery. Remember hatchbacks,
Yeah.
which is Chery A3, for those that know the brand. I understand. So there's that, and then each jack, yeah, you know.
I know the GAC
yeah.
motors. I think it's double caps and single caps vans.
Yeah, you know. So HMC were those cars that really came in. So that's basically that with the context near and background of China and its relative competitors, which is then the key role players.
Yes. And then
I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to add.
no. That's okay. We can move on to the background. Am I correct?
Yeah, we've done, which is part of what we've just mentioned now. The Chery, the light trucks that were introduced by them in the that were exported by China.
Oh, okay. I think there is something I wanted to add.
Yeah.
In addition to the background here, that when we speak of China, we speak of people who are not new in the global domination.
Exactly.
They have dominated the retail market from 2000 and
retail is it fast moving goods from clothing or
yes, clothing, furniture,
textile.
yes, textile, yes.
Yeah.
So they have been dominant in that space globally.
Yes.
Exporting all of that in the same pace, in the same strategies, in order to be dominant in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that,
Same blueprint.
it's the same blueprint, but now their trademark is their the labor-intensive advantage that they have.
Yeah.
The population is higher, and they can get to manufacture, manage, and distribute.
But now they've moved to technology heavily.
With the same movement to technology,
Yeah.
they are applying the same formula.
I see. Backed up by
Backed up by now,
work ethics,
of course.
backed up by numbers, which is population, and a productive society.
And also backed up by their own government. involvement.
How the government is politically structured.
Yes.
It takes us back to the social structure discussion.
The discussion we had. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
With communism
and all of those things. Yes. Yeah.
How they benefit. Yeah. So their progress or their advancement is backed up by these elements that we are mentioning.
Exactly.
And just on a lighter note,
So, with them not being new
into the
game of global domination, they
have participation.
Yeah, or participation. Yes, they have an advantage that nobody else has.
Look, if I were to agree, or my agreement with that is that what I know personally in China, with the little information I got, that I've seen how they sometimes you look at it as infringement to labor laws. In South Africa, you look at it that day, which is long hours. Sometimes even I'm not sure if like India they would have child labor, right?
Yeah, they do have.
Yeah, but in essence, they also have education system that is aligned to their intended production in terms of whether it's manufacturing of telecoms, of automobile.
Look,
so the education, what I'm trying to say is education from elementary level, from child development, all the way. These people are very deliberate.
And I understand the why. The why is, if you look at the East in general, they understood how far behind they are, and they did research and invested. The governing parties or the governing body of the particular areas, like your China, your India, the leadership invested a lot of money in research to find out what is it that the other first world countries are doing right? And in addition to that research, then they did extra research to understand what sacrifices need to be taken or made in order for us to catch up with the first world countries, and even not only compete and even surpass them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It starts with acknowledging the gaps.
Yes.
Catching up to the gaps. Participating.
No, research first before.
Yeah, I'm saying it's when I say it's understanding, I mean it's research.
Yeah.
When you want to understand, you are then researching. It's understanding where you lack.
You understand where you lack.
And then when you know where you lack, you then catch up if you are behind. Right?
Yeah.
As you catch up, you learn to compete fairly, or you learn to be a formidable force to be reckoned in the market. Then you can then start by thinking, how do you dominate? Once you know how to dominate, then you get into a spirit of saying, how do we stretch the dominance? How do we sustain dominance? So those are the phases I think that maybe they went into. While talking about that, we are going very key influential aspects that help in China to shape itself and to be a dominant type of role player into this automobile industry. Part of it is the policy and industrial planning. They're being technical, and we were just shooting from the hip.
Yes.
So it's policy and industrial planning. So by policy and industrial planning, you are talking of central government strategies. By that you mean China started having a long-term planning. They call it a multi-decades type of planning. So they know how to master, because it's easy for them to have a multi-decades planning. Because hakuna political party that is going to take over. There's no threat of another political party that is going to scrap and try to undermine the efforts of the previous regime. Right?
Yeah, there's no regime conflict.
Yeah, that's why they've got continuity. They can plan for 50 years, knowing very well that it will be pretty much the same. I'm trying to put this thing on silence, just in case. To know, I mean, disruption on continuity comes when you have, like in our situation, it's a multi-party sort of configuration. a politic, right?
Which is promoting division.
Even in the ANC themselves, once you have another administration, they want to outclass the previous one, but it's the same political party. So you can imagine if it's another party, how they're going to scrap and dismantle everything that has been done and the efforts that have been done by a previous ruler. So I'm trying to say the reason why they are able to enter into central government strategies, central government as they would term it, is that because of their political climate and or formation or configuration, there is no disruption of continuity.
In addition to that, that's a very valid point. In addition to that, the government has done something wonderful with its own state-owned entities. Their involvement is on a higher percentage in terms of funds for research, cheaper loans for companies that require funding, tax incentives for companies that are already existing, export subsidiaries as well. I'll give you an example with the company called CATL, which is China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology. It's a state-owned entity that has a revenue in 1 year of about 283 billion yen. When you convert that into dollars, it's about $52 billion revenue in 1 year. So if a state entity is in that position, that's not a recipe, that's a recipe for success. If you would have so much involvement from the government in the state entities that are also part of the progressive production of the company, and with such a revenue, if you had to leave that revenue to a state that does not have order and proper management skills, it would have been a disaster. So I would like to emphasize the point that there is a lot we can learn actually from how they manage their operations, whether politically or economically or otherwise. There is a lot that they are doing well.
Yeah, that is also actually under massive subsidies and state support, what you were saying.
Yeah.
It was part of the massive and state support, including local government incentives.
Exactly.
Can we take 2 steps back, if you don't mind?
I don't mind. Let's do that.
Remember we spoke of the value of 4.5 to 4.6 trillion.
Trillions. Yes.
Can
be more? Yeah.
To break it down.
No stress.
Remember that the value chain of automobile production, right? It starts with raw material.
Okay.
Where you have your metals, which is your steel, aluminum, and
copper. Yes.
And then you have plastics and polymers.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got rubbers, which is tires and sealants and stuff. And then you've got glass, electronics, batteries, which are lithium, nickel, and manganese and graphite. Right. Those are raw material. Yes. So that part actually contributes in that 4.6 trillion, as I was saying. It takes about 1.7 trillion. That's part on its own in the value chain.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah, 1.7 trillion. And then part of it goes to the production, which they're manufacturing, and that has to do with the OEMs, which is the original equipment manufacturers, like your Bosch doing brake pads for BMW,
okay,
type of situation. So there you find the assembling part, right, which is the factories and machinery that are robotic in nature currently, right, and then the body chasing, interior assembling. At the end of it is that it's called vehicle testing, right? Which is homologation. Homologation, it's the process where they certify cars for regulatory and safety standards. That takes 1.4 trillion, right? It's between 1 to 1.4 trillion USD, right? And then
those numbers are
then it moves. Remember, it's the raw material, it's the production, then it moves to then the distribution and the retail sales. Right? The retail sales, funny enough, it takes about 700 billion. It's between 500 and 700 billion USD.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's under a trillion compared to the raw material, 1.7 and 1.4 for production. But there, with distribution, it's selling cars, it's marketing, and used cars selling in simple terms, right? Yes. And then comes the interesting market, which is the aftermarket or after sales, services, which is your servicing, your maintenance, spares parts, body parts,
replacement of spares, and all of that.
Customization and accessories.
Yes.
That takes about in the share of 4.6 trillion, takes about 650 billion, slightly less. And there's a new emerging component in your value chain, right? Which is they call it automotive mobility and connected services, which is an emerging aspect that deals with ride-hailing platforms, Uber and them, EVs charging networks, right? And also deals with the software updates, self-driving cars and that technology. So that's an emerging aspect over and above everything that we've traditionally mentioned, and that currently it takes about accounts for 300 to 400 billion USDs.
So would I be right to say the player that is highly disrupted because of the currency exchange is USA?
What do you mean?
The disruption of their dominance currently is disrupting more USA than any other player in the global.
The one country that feels the disruption of
China more.
Yeah, I can imagine. And if you know yourself to be the biggest bully at school, and then comes a new bully in the market, you'll have a problem. And sometimes the best thing to do is to partner with the emerging bully.
I want to tell you a very interesting story, to cut you off, a short story. Between 2011 and 2014, USA was leading.
Yeah, in what? General?
In global export and exchange of. We're talking about the automotive industry.
Yeah.
Specifically, the US was leading in terms of exporting goods to other countries on these items you mentioned, like your rubber, your plastics, and all of that.
Yeah.
So between 2011 and 2014, US was leading. And then the change came in 2015 and 2018.
Yeah.
So China managed to quadruple the lead between 2015 and 18. The dominance they had between 2011 and 2014.
Yeah.
China managed to make that 4 times more between 2015 and 2018.
4 years.
Yes. But then, funny enough, between 2019 and 2025, the dominance of US between 2011 and 2014 was 10 times more, with the China's strategies and management and everything that they did in the automotive industry. They dominated by now. Okay, let me be more specific. As we speak now in 2025, China is 10 times more dominant than the US.
It would have been nice for you not to say which year, but it's fine.
Anyway, but I'm just trying to create awareness about the dominance of this disruption.
I'm sorry to disrupt you. I was just saying we could have left it to recent times, or to recently or currently.
Yeah, we are in the making. So you know what I like about the making. As we go along, there are those random things we pick up with. Okay, no, in the future this one could be said better this way, because obviously the goal is to be more fluent and speak content that is verifiable and very smooth.
But by the way, the emerging component in the value chain, which is the automotive mobility, as it's called, or rather, and connected services, is expected to rise to increase from 400 billion to 1 trillion in 2030, by 2030, right? So anyway, we're going to go back to the influences that China, or the things that really triggered China to move. Remember, we spoke of the policy, the central government, the massive subsidies.
Yes.
And also they went into infrastructure first. These guys built the electrical stations to recharge their cars long before they even know the numbers they're going to produce.
There is a lot they're
in
doing.
the infrastructure. They foresee with, okay, we want to be producing, say for an example, 20 million cars in 2025, whatever the case may be. 5 years in advance or 4 years in advance or quite well in advance, they've already built the charging stations.
Look,
believe it or not.
If China can make a hospital in 10 days,
Charging networks.
I understand that. I'm just adding to your point, to amplify it. Uti, we can't expect any less from a nation that can build a hospital in 10 days, that can take 7,000 employees and 1,500 of those are medical people in 10 days. So there is a lot we could learn from them. And in addition to that as well, you know that they own raw materials that is needed to create a battery. The lithium, cobalt, graphite.
Cobalt, remember that the DRC is the biggest.
I understand the African part of those.
No, I'm saying, remember that cobalt, almost, I think if I remember my numbers well, that 70% of it, or rather, just around that huge number, ETRC is producing for the world.
Yes, I understand that. They have managed to put themselves in a position whereby they're exporting. You know, it's a different operation to have a natural resource and the reality of exporting. It's a very catchy.
I'm sorry to seemingly come out as in disrupting. I'm disrupting like that. To destabilize you on your point. I just wanted for us to have a connected and continuity type of delivery, because we have established that Africa is a contributing an immense contribution towards the cobalt, which lithium is a different product.
Well, I think maybe on our desktop, if time permits, maybe on our desktop we can just get exactly the cobalt part of it, because with my research it's mentioned that the lithium and the graphite, they have those materials themselves as well, which
you might find it's reserves.
It is probably reserves
because it's one thing to extract, it's another to attain and keep in large quantities
and export in your own advantage.
Not even exporting, using it for, because they can't buy cobalt and sell it raw. They then change it to a complete product, which is then the battery itself, the rechargeable batteries for the EVs. Understand? You might find they then have more reserves than. It means
that's highly possible.
They import cobalt and have more reserves than any other countries for these purposes. Because they are leading Guma EVs as we are speaking right now.
No, as we speak, man, it's undisputed. With electronic vehicles, they are leading, undisputed in everything, in prices, in exporting, and
I mean, with that said, additional aspects of internal view based for them to be a formidable force over and above the subsidies that we spoke about, the incentives and policy and industrial planning. They've got this thing called industrial clustering. Let me try and simplify it. We have a trading blocks in Africa, like SADC, which is the south part of Africa, maybe Botswana, South Africa, the SADC part, and then we have Central, and then we've got East Africa,
West Africa,
which is a trading block, right? Abu Kagame and Kenya, and probably close to the Central DRC. They've got their own trading blocks, and then we've got the West,
which is also operating on its own trading block. Yes.
I'm thinking we need to have a destination. A destination the African trading blocks, ne? Africa's trading blocks. Africa.
Hey, that sounds very interesting.
Trading blocks, yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
How are they established? So we coming back to China, the industrial clustering is like Guangzhou, Shanghai, Chongqing, and Hefei. They are clustered to integrate research, supplies of OEMs. If I don't know look at our provinces, 9 of them, right? Uti Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Northern Cape, was a cluster for a specific role that they need to play within the 9 provinces. Maybe they are strong into these are the services that are soft. Services like your what KPMG is doing, auditing, financial services,
administrative services,
yeah. So you say Northwest, East, Western Cape, and Northern Cape. They will then produce us and bring companies that will be strong in the services sector.
You know, right? I'm a believer of that suggestion, which
it's clustering.
It's called clustering.
Yeah, it's clustering.
Yeah, when
industrial clustering.
When you are dedicated, or when you are specializing
you are more focused.
You are more focused, and the chances of productivity are higher.
You streamline your education system for your specialities, and supply your specialities to the internal domestic provinces. That gives us an advantage as a country, because other countries will focus in agriculture, Mpumalanga maybe because of their case
weather and advantages.
Ijobek focus into other aspects, maybe IT. You understand? Manufacturing. Those. I'm just
I understand your point.
So
it's a valid point.
Yeah. So that's the clustering part and specialization is very important. But anyway, that was the internal view of the advantage or influences that triggered the advantage China. Let's go to external, right?
Yeah, external. Look, they have a very highly efficient supply chain mentality.
Yeah.
Right. So, with the world-class logistics that they have, plus industrial zone collaboration that they use.
Industrial clustering, yes.
So with those 2 advantages, you are now then able to move goods faster than anybody else. So your service delivery on the movement of goods, irrespective of size or quantity, is way faster than any. They have no competition in terms of movement of goods on the exporting part of things. Nobody comes closer to them in terms of logistics. They are untouchable. So there is a lot actually we need to learn from these kind of operations.
What I wanted to get to, these are part of the internal competitive advantages that we are mentioning, all those that we've mentioned now. If we look at the external, so what we are trying to demonstrate is that their disruption is planned, it's comprehensive. They don't focus only on external, what people are doing external. They start internally, build themselves, pretend as if they are a global set within, right?
Yes.
So now externally what they would do, they do what is called mandatory JVs. They had Honda, Toyota, Ford, BMW, right? If they want to come and do mass production of their cars in China, the first thing that they will do policy-wise, it's mandatory JV. So Chinese will bring their own companies.
Okay.
Like Great Hall, right? The company, and the BYD, I think, one of the dominant companies now in China that is all into the automobile.
Okay.
Those companies came up the rank by forcing BMWs and Ford and them. If they come to China, they are forced to join forces with these emerging companies to to distribute or to transfer skills.
That's a very good strategy.
Yeah. So that's why it's mandatory JVs structure that they came up with, and then they also look into technology transfer,
yes,
quality control, safety plans, and all that, right? R&D practices, right? Leaning towards these guys that were stronger than them back in the days, and then they've got what they call talent and workforce upgrade, which is local engineers trained inside the JV factories. Inside the JV joint ventures, it's well organized, deliberate, these JVs, that they bring their own people to come and partner in a formal fashion. It's not like Uzoza we BMW and will give you 10 or 50, 100 people like we do. Like this and this thing actually.
Which one?
A labor intensive program that is done by the NC.
I'm asked good by Bizan.
And there's a name for it. I'll remember the name. They just bring, you are a contractor, you come in, they give you 20 youth to 50 youth, and then you place them into different discipline, painting and whatnot.
I'm thinking of a word.
There's a word for it.
Internship?
It's
not internship.
Yeah, there's a program. It's a program that has been adopted by the ANC.
Okay.
And it's a popular one. I don't know why it escaped me. Nonetheless, in China, they don't bring individuals. They bring a formal company.
Yeah.
With repeatable directors.
Yes.
To come and join BMW. Transfer company to company, not company to individuals. And those individuals are just unemployed youth. Sometimes it's not aligned to the discipline, like electrical, that kid is doing electrical studies, and then they align them to electrical works and then grow them. It's not disorderly like that. It's structured. So their talent and workforce upgrade is quite deliberate and well organized. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I think with being organized, they are untouchable.
Yes.
If you look at the background and the history and how they rose up into dominance into any space that they go into.
Yeah.
So
I mean, over and above is that they adopted competitive benchmarking as a strategy. So they need to know what, like you said, research and find out what other people are doing and what is accepted and what is liked. And in some cases, they will do reverse engineering, right?
Yeah.
You like a Range Rover. What they're going to bring is going to look like a Range Rover. They master that reverse engineering.
And with more entertainment and cheaper
with more
prices.
technology.
Yeah. More technology and cheaper prices.
They call it copy, improve, and innovate cycle. Copy, improve, innovate cycle. So it's deliberate. It's not fluke.
And it actually, with China, based on my exposure with them, they have always been like that. Because when they were not dominant in the automotive industry, while they were still dominant they're still dominant in retail even now. The bigger labels, you'd have factories that design bigger labels, which must be taken to the first world countries, like
Gucci,
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And then you would have factories that collect the items that are not wanted. It's a legal agreement that have a factory that produces, rightfully so, as per agreement, right? But whatever you don't need, I'm also a company. Give me what you need. I try and fix it and resell it, and they buy rights from the head company in order for them to have the same distribution rights, but internal. I don't know the name.
That did not.
There's a word for it. Yeah, items.
Rejects maybe.
Yeah, maybe rejects.
Yeah, for
so the principle of copy and paste has always been their trademark. They have always tried to advance themselves with self-reliance, that if they do it this way, let's find out how it's done and try to do it better.
That's copy. Copy, improve, and innovate.
It's exactly. They have always been like that.
And the domestic, there's this thing called domestic powerhouse, ne?
Yeah.
Domestic powerhouse is the same as bringing Mitsubishi, VW, Toyota to partner with the likes of GIL, joint ventures and Nabo BYD's companies in China to go into JVs with this.
Yeah, but the joint venture idea, it's
brilliant.
Brilliant, my brother.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. So the top companies in China or in the automobile companies that are expanding globally right now, and they are OEMs company type, which is original equipment manufacturers.
Yeah.
So those that know what that means, these are Makoya type of companies. So it's very difficult to build and bring about this type of companies. The BYD, right? The GIL, the Zig, the Great Wall Motor, which is the ones that deals with Haval.
Yeah.
You see, those are the guys that are playing a very prominent role in this disruption. BYD.
Interesting.
Yeah, BYD. So then we can go to I'm not sure what is there anything else that you want to cover before we go to desktop that talks to the disruption influencers or influencing aspects?
As much as what they're doing is great, there is a downside though to this dominance.
Yeah.
In terms of long-term benefit.
Yeah.
So what they do is they deprive you creativity intentionally or investments to any form of supply. They will not involve you in their own ideas and share them as much as they like to do joint ventures.
Yeah.
They will not initiate something like that to an external.
They will come to Africa and don't allow us to put them on such.
They will not come to. They will not come to Africa or come to South Africa. Let's bring it home. They will not come to South Africa and say.
And then subject themselves to the same
program that they implemented.
The reason why I think it's possible is that they have a strong bargaining factor because they are dominant. So they dictate terms of human negotiations, right? And again, if you don't have, if you don't own means of production, it's difficult for you to negotiate in a more win-win arrangement. Let me make an example.
Fair enough.
Ibrahim.
Yes.
Ibrahim owns means of production now. If you come to them and you want what he's got, he can dictate, not necessarily dictate terms. He can influence for a win-win arrangement.
Okay.
Tina, already our means of production is not owned by us, it's owned by foreign wealth. So we don't have a bargaining factor in our advantage.
We do have a bargaining factor in our advantage because Chinese get free citizenship in South Africa.
Yeah, that's lately, bro.
But wait for me to come with a series.
I was just saying, I was not even saying much. I was just saying, that's too little.
Okay, not in my view.
Okay.
Right. So now let's look at long-term benefits for themselves. I see this as it's a glorified colonialism in my view. That as much as you are powerful, right, when you make alliances, I don't put you in a disadvantaged position as much as I have the leverage to define the terms. But then if I want to empower you, then I must give you ammunition that will help you to operate independently in your own progress for your own country. So they deprive the previously disadvantaged, especially in Africa. They don't do that in Europe or in the US or in Japan or in India or in Russia. By the way, they have a very good relationship with Russia because Russia is their biggest consumer.
I don't want you to digress.
I'm just mentioning Russia. I'm going back to my point. Uguti, what the Chinese do is they deprive you creativity and progressive for future benefits because they want to.
let me bring you back. You were saying
Okay.
we have a bargaining factor
Yes.
against China.
Yes.
So I wanted you to explain, and you made an example in a citizenship.
Yes.
So I was expecting you to expand on that one.
Yeah, there's 2 points I made. I made the bargaining point about citizenship while I was still...
How is it benefiting them?
Yeah, but wait for me to get to that point. I was still telling you about the point of them depriving you the privilege of independent progression.
Yeah.
That was the initial point before we got to the point of citizenship. So I have to finish the first point.
Yes.
I'm done with the first point now, which they deprive you because they have a long-term goal of taking over and not give you independence or the ammunition to do your independent production. That's the first point. The second point of citizenship is that we are a country of multiple natural resources. Do you agree with me there?
No, continue.
Yes.
I don't have to.
We're a country. Okay. This guy. Okay. Let me talk to my people.
One time.
One time. Yeah. We're a country of multiple natural resources.
Yes.
So if someone comes and gains citizenship in our country, that means whatever investment they give us, right, when that investment grows, it puts them in a position of benefiting or owning those resources that belong to us, which can be used for export power that they have to benefit them more than they benefit us.
I'm not disagreeing, I'm holding a different view.
Okay, that's fine.
Simply,
do you understand my point
yeah,
though?
I understand.
Okay.
Here's why that is not sustainable, right?
Okay.
You are bringing how many people into South Africa to benefit from being South African citizens? Let's say you are deliberately taking a plane and bringing them in. In Vikings, they call it settlement. So you want to settle in a place that you've colonized or that you want to dominate.
Okay.
As part of the deal. Vikings used to cut that.
As part of yes.
Let's say that's their deal. Them giving you call them secrets for innovation and technology. Right?
Yeah.
Them giving you that, they know within the next few years or shortly, you won't be depending on them for consumption of your imports, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be less dependent. So the reason why they don't want to make you or they don't want to contribute in advancing you by sharing or allowing these kind of formations to happen, which is a much heavy that forces and mandatory of skills transfer. Yeah. Right? It's because they know you're going to be better, and when you are better, they're not going to have any element of one dominance, two of beneficiation in terms of exports and their plans. So that's going to be self-sabotage to them, right? But you will be forced to negotiate those kind of things and even consider them when you've got, let's say for example, you have, let's say country Burkina Faso. Let's say in Burkina Faso is producing or is extracting and distributing cobalt in a large quantities, and China has desperation to get that. They will compromise. They will compromise to settle for this kind of arrangements. But South Africa doesn't have what they desperately need. The desperation of having cobalt to make batteries for them to grow, and the desperation of settlement of people to get citizenship, that carries different weight. As it is important in whatever way you want to look at, but when you put it into a business beneficiation perspective, the minerals have more weight for them to compromise than they would have in terms of allowing the Chinese to have citizenship in South Africa. That's my point. You
have a valid point, right? You have a valid point, and in your valid point, right, to give you a clear understanding of where I'm coming from with this view, I want to make an example. Does the time permit for us to...
make it quick, it's fine.
Okay. So I want to make an example that in every engagement they go into, it's never with good intentions for equal...
It shouldn't be.
Okay, fair enough. But Chinese are crooks. Wait. They always want to benefit more in any engagement.
I'm not surprised.
Right?
I agree. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that is how they are wired, and that's how they have... Okay, maybe they will change. I don't know. People
in any relationship.
But in any relationship, right? Benefit more, but don't crook me. I'll give you an example. Angola was going to start a bigger infrastructure initiation, right? For its infrastructure, hospital, schools, and all of that, right? And then Angola, the president of Angola at the time, had an agreement with China. China initiated the agreement. You take prisoners from China who have finished their sentence. You don't want them in your society anymore. You don't want that liability. You relocate your prisoners to Angola to be responsible for construction in Angola, right? You charge Angola as China, but what you do is, what you charge, you take half as the government, and then the half is distributed to the individuals who were in large numbers. I'm not talking 10, 20, no. We would do a flight to Angola where it's just Chinese full of...
I get your point.
You get the point, right? That's the modus operandi of the Chinese. It's never a fair exchange with them.
It's difficult, just quick one, it's difficult to find balance in negotiations when you don't have an absolute advantage. They say, if you enter into a negotiation table, and you don't, two things, you don't have what the other people need desperately from you, it's pointless to go in there. Two, you are not able to continue, or you will struggle to move on without them. That's the second aspect. It's pointless to go there. So you go there with the spirit of, with or without you, I am going to get what I want. The reason why I choose you, then you can state your facts. And second is that you want this from me, and you don't have it, and it's my absolute advantage. It puts you in a very
disadvantage.
It puts you in an advantage position to get into a negotiation, and not necessarily dictate terms, but at least push for a win-win outcome.
I guess to simplify this discussion, that is why you are a capitalist and I'm a socialist.
Fine. Fair enough. Maybe
I think it boils down to that, because my thinking is socialist thinking and your thinking is capitalist thinking.
Let's add this one as well, over and above. The art of negotiation.
Hey, that would be another interesting topic.
The art of negotiation as a basket, in our basket, as a destination to visit.
So
what is negotiation? The history of it, how it's used, in which areas it's important, in business, in army, and and
it sounds like an interesting topic.
To move on, let's go to the desktop quickly. A desktop here is just to structure it to list the cars and their value that are brought in by Chinese, right? As a quick one. Okay, we have there's 41 of them, but we'll take a few, right? There's a one that
I don't know this car. What's this one?
This one looks like it's
the B40 as we have.
B40 plus.
B40 plus.
BAIC.
Okay, the B40 plus is similar to the Mini.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it's called Jimmy.
It's a very strong 4x4, by the way. Small, very compact 4x4.
Yeah.
Very.
Can we get the price of the Jimmy to compare it with this, or should we just?
Jimmy, it's a meter plus, by the way. I consider I've got friends who belong to a club, Yama Jimmy. Jimmy price. second hand. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We'll have an idea of the price range.
Yeah.
Almost the same.
Yeah, look.
Plus minus 500k.
Yeah, 5.
But entry level here is like I saw something around
let's say
250.
Let's say new maybe.
Okay.
Let's say new.
Uh, 400k.
Plus
minus.
Yeah, you're right to check competition. Starting price here, P40. P40 looks like Jimmy. You can see. So 574.
574.
Yeah, 574.
Well, it's not a good competitor.
Yeah. Ipiak is the brand. P40 it's
P40 is not a good competitor. The P40 is not a competitor to the.
Yeah. And then they've got the Beijing X55. Now it's under the brand BI.
Okay. So this X55 can be in competition with which VW, for example?
It's hatchback that looks like a wagon, station wagon type.
Could this be a competition to maybe
maybe these ones, Toyota Toyota Corolla Cross.
Toyota Cross?
Yeah, it's 350 to 450.
And then what's the price on that one?
It's 429.
429. Okay, it's not much.
Pound, yeah. And then Besuban BYD Auto 3 starting at 768. I think it's an EV car, that's expensive, but I've never seen this one.
I don't know it either.
Extracting. And then BYD Dolphin.
The Dolphin is like competing with your A-Class on Mercedes. I'm looking at the shape.
Maybe. But it looks very compact. It looks like a compact sedan. You know?
But with a bigger body a little bit.
Yeah, and then one BYD is
this one competing with your Cayennes? This one? The
Cayenne, no ways.
No ways.
Yeah, it might carry the same features, but no ways. We're gonna go there. We'll see. We'll come back to them. Let's just go through them.
Okay.
And then Cine EPYD seal, almost a meter starting price. And then Sibene seal Leon 7. I want a meter plus.
Yeah, meter.
But I don't know this BYD.
I don't know these cars now.
Shark.
I know this BYD, I mean.
The Shark 6.
Yeah. And this is almost $1 million.
Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger, yes. Ford Ranger, how much is it?
I have no idea. We can just check quickly. A new Ford Ranger. $1.2 million.
1.2.
Okay. The difference is not that much, actually.
Yeah, come to think of it.
Yes.
It's the Ford is 1.2.
This one is
9.
Almost
there.
100 to
200k.
So can you see the price range difference between 200 and 300? Between 2 and 300,000 difference.
It's just margins.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they are significant or insignificant to even consider. Ichiri Tigo 4 Pro, they could contribute an Kia. This one I've seen this badge.
How big? Oh, okay, I know the badge.
Kia size. Yeah.
For 270.
Yeah, to 270 starting price. And then SUV type Ichiri Tigo Cross at 399. Right? And then Babenale 7 Tigo Cross Cross. Yeah, cross one would sedan SUV. I mean hatchback SUV Cross. And then Cherry Tigo 7 Pro 399. Yeah. And then CAW Nyayazle 8 Pro Tigo Cherry same.
It's got an SUV look.
Yeah. Feel. Yeah, Abo Rev 4. Hyundai
has got something similar to this.
Yeah. This one is a unique computer Nabo
i10.
399.
That's a
Diamond
S5.
Yeah, i10 type range. And then 9 4x4, but lay a 4-ton G7.
I don't know.
This is quite reasonable, but it's too clean. And then Siben GAC, GS3, M-Zoom.
I've never seen this one.
Yeah, GAC M-Coup.
I don't also know this one.
I know this one, GW.
Yeah, GWM I know.
I've seen it
yeah.
a lot. I've seen it. Yeah, there was a time I was counting them.
And the inside is beautiful here.
Yeah, it's 419. A computer nabo Amarok.
Okay. They're not bad at 490, at 415.
Isuzu.
Yeah.
Amarok, it's expensive.
It's very expensive, Amarok.
Yeah. And then Haval, we know Haval.
We are very familiar to Haval. What's the price there?
It's 494.
Okay, almost 500,000. It's
very reasonable for this shape.
Is this the new one?
Yeah, the new entry. Haval
H6.
Yeah, H6.
Okay.
And then Haval H6 GT. GT
665.
Yeah, this is quite steepy. Joleon Haval 347.
I've seen this one as well. Yeah.
Joleon Pro. I've never seen. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
It talks to me.
It's got a Mercedes
type
vibe.
Energy 391. And then E-check.
I've seen a double cab which is quite as expensive. 550.
Yeah, T9. And then Nazi, this is popular. Check.
Yeah.
Yeah, 559. This is computer number Range Rover this. Or they're trying to disrupt the market here Range Rover.
Yeah, they have to work harder, I guess.
Yeah, 559, but they've already penetrating the market. J2 less. This one is also in high circulation. 439. J2 X70 plus. And then MHS, they were tough. MGHS. That's this computer again.
No Boxster.
Yeah, maybe.
MG
Cyberstar. MG Cyberstar.
But it's still expensive, man. 1.4 million.
Is popular.
The Omoda, yeah, this one is
329.
Okay, yeah, I guess
C9 Omoda. This is pro. Look at the vertical drop. LED, the cluster, the light. This is properly done.
Yeah, it's going to the range face.
Yeah,
front.
This is properly done. This one. Yeah, well. So yeah, it's got the front. It's got the
same car.
The Omoda.
Yeah.
It's the C9. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it from our desktop. 1 minute pitch.
Yeah. Do you wanna go first, or should I go ahead?
Let's get you the time. That's timing. Konje, what's your angle? It's the what China?
The triangle I was talking about.
Yeah, the competitive advantage. I'm just
competitive advantage. Yes.
What makes China to be what it is, right?
Yeah, the competitive.
Yeah, the specifics, the summary of what you.
Yeah, the summary of what I think makes them dominant as they are currently.
Yeah. Jesus. Fine. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Starting. Now.
Okay, this is my own view, guys, and I think China is in the position that they're in now because of the triangle implementation that they have adopted. So, with my research, I've discovered that politically, they chose to be a communist country politically, and then with a political communist party, they are using a capitalism mechanism in economy. So now they are joining communism and capitalism, but in separate sectors. And then in identity, they have chosen socialism. So they have built a unique formation that works for them. So they're putting together socialism in identity, communism politically, and
Sorry.
no stress. I think I mentioned everything. I was about to
were
repeat.
building up to your point that actually came out with the how they are configured. You used to tell me that. I'm just summarizing.
No, I understand.
How they have structured themselves politically, economically,
and by identity.
Yeah.
Yes.
It works for them, and it also a contributing factor in them being a powerhouse.
Yes.
Simple terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is Africa going to struggle to catch up?
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Obvious reasons is that leadership in Africa is questionable, and it's unfortunate that much of it is pointing to the black society and the coup d'etat that are happening in the North Africa, the compromise that we are in right now as a South Africa. So our leadership does not allow us to really being able to have continuity planning, long-term planning, the political formations that we have, multi-party system, which is pretty much what you were saying, which is their configuration allows for continuity. That's the reason why we want to struggle. We are not deliberate, and we are not structured, we are not organized, we don't have long-term planning, and it's all because of leadership.
You still have 10 seconds.
That's it.
Oh, that's all you have? Okay, my brother.
That's all you get.
No.
That's all you get.
And then what's your take home, I mean?
Yeah, it's linked to my 1 minute pitch. It's the realization that the gap is going to be very difficult for us to close it down, right? You realize there are many things that you would have to do for us to really close the gap and to be more focused and to be a well-deserving respect partner into this global space. Right? Because by intellect, they've already pushed the envelope.
Yeah.
Which is talks to technology that that they are pioneering, and which is industrial revolution that we spoke about.
Yes.
And that we've also identified the gap. Remember in our past
discussions,
flights. So the take home is it's the discovery and the troubling reality that in my head I'm struggling to even find hope and consolation. What is it that we would have to do? Because if I could think what is it that we can do that will bring a little bit of consolation and hope, which the gap can be closed, meaning the difference between yen and what's the currency as a China? Yen. And the rand would be somewhat close. The gap will be closer, or a dollar, or a pound, or a euro, the rand. So what I'm looking at, if I have to make my speculation, that we can still have another 100 years of an increasing gap, not a sustained current gap or closing it down. Because there's three things that could happen. It's either you keep it with this gap, you keep it the way it is, or you close it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Avoid extending the gap.
Avoid to have a gap that is quite bigger. But the gap for me is going to increase. I know it sounds pessimistic that the gap, if Iran right now, it's how much to $1?
17.
Yeah, if we have that gap 17 times difference, it's going to be 18 times, 19 times more, 20 times more. 30. I mean, until we can manage 30 times more and we are comfortable with it, like we are comfortable. Because when it was 10 times, 9 times more, we thought 20 times more is uncomfortable. We will be in a dire situation. We are not. We are still surviving. So I see it growing, and I'm not sure what is it that is going to stop it from growing. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in our lifetime. So that's the take home.
Do you think they are an unstoppable force?
I mean, we've already touched on many things that, I mean, from industrial revolution, we have come to a very saddening realization. or troubling realization.
It's a troubling
they
reality.
lost us in the first industrial revolution.
Yeah, I mean,
the first wave. They left us. The gap was created in the first wave. So you come to industrial revolution, whether 4 or 5, the gap is increasing in actual fact, and in a very alarming rate, and in a very troubling type of situation.
What's happening there?
Nothing. Yeah, it's just the lighting.
Just the lighting. Okay, would you like to add anything else?
No, that's the take home. It's very troubling.
Yeah, very troubling. My take home is that when China mobilizes its natural resources for any project, whether size or whatever, it executes bigger projects, right? Or massive projects, if lack of a better word.
You have to take home.
No, I'm finishing my sentence. I'm saying their execution in any project that they do is faster than any other country in the whole world. That's
economic, efficient, and
whatever they do, anything they do, that's the position they're in, which also agrees with your point of the gap that exists and that it might or it will increase. And it's going to be very tough for us to execute anything they do, whether it's export or import or managing or schools or education system or political.
They might struggle in doing Bacardi.
And then
as a consolation prize.
As a consolation, yeah, I know.
And by the way,
and actually they consume a lot of alcohol. Chinese.
Oh, sorry, I'm saying on a light note.
Okay.
They are having a group. Actually, they are even piano made in China, by the way.
As we speak now.
And they are a group of Chinese that are into the type of dance that we do, the Bacardis and
so the Chinese are playing basketball to another level as we speak, at a young age.
Yeah.
As we speak now. But nonetheless,
on that note, I'm just saying the gap that they are
the gap that is here.
They are increasing it in all facets.
In everything, my brother. Yeah. So another take home for me is that centralized decisions, right? Which are made with self-reliance, qualifications, experience, and efficient methods. They are the masters of service delivery in the few points that I've mentioned. They are unmatched. So yeah, I've learned a lot from this discussion.
So give me your take home that is generic and not technical, and that is just pure comprehension, and maybe your also not generic in terms of understanding and comprehension, or which is pretty much the same thing. But I just want to get your pure
my pure interpretation of what I've just mentioned is that we need to resuscitate systems that are favorable to us by us. First, we need to sort out our own.
The reason why I'm saying is like I don't even can't imagine where to start. But anyway, yeah, no, maybe I'm just disappointed for now.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm severely.
You know, it's disappointing to know, and
I feel defeated.
And to know what today, okay, let's live today. Let's live today. As we speak currently, the dominant efforts that are made within, I'll just talk about Soweto. We have a higher number of energy that is directed only to entertainment. And that entertainment is not bringing us any closer to the global market.
To be competitive.
Or to be competitive with any of the leaders in the global markets. So So if that energy could be redirected to something else, I think...
You know, there's a little hope that I'm thinking with what you are saying. Imagine if the province could compete, right, on production and
have a high price.
We compete amongst ourselves
As provinces.
Yeah. On either products or services.
Yeah.
Right. Who in competition? Which province is doing the most on whatever issues? They must find their relative and their and an absolute advantage and work on it. Right? Imagine that situation. Then we take the very same competitive ideas or energy. We then compete within the SADC. Right? Then we take the SADC to compete with other trading blocks. Then we combine all the trading blocks to compete internationally. So I think the hope lies in making sure that we have a competitive energy or attitude.
It's a must.
We must have a competitive attitude. Whatever you do, you must be number one, do the best. In actual fact, the attitude that is used by the hip hop heads, the guys who are into hip hop, it's the attitude that we must dissolve. It sounds delusional to aspire to be number one, and it sounds selfish and self-centered. But without competition at certain levels, it will be difficult to compete where you are supposed to compete, because you are not used. Because competition needs you to be able to perform under pressure. Let me make an example. My realization. I'm playing golf with my brother, right? And now that I'm realizing what we are competing, I'm starting to, my performance is dropping. It's dropping. I'm not used. I try to shy away from competing and be a competitive, and then I relax. He is an outright competitive person. I doesn't hide it.
Yeah.
So, but there's a benefit in being in that attitude, because once you get used to be in a competitive spirit, you don't have pressure. Because I'm not used into being competitive. Once they apply pressure, then I drop my competitive. Because I want to be modest about competing.
So you are basically saying you want to up your game.
I want to be competitive. I want to declare it up front with my man.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, you had the same strategy.
Yeah. I don't want to be modest.
He doesn't want to lose on anything.
Yeah.
Whether you are playing cards or in the bus.
No, I'm doing it with recording. I'm divorcing my modesty. I'm not modest. I want to ace every aspect. You know what? I know, I'm not joking.
No, modesty, in most cases, modesty works against you.
I refuse to be modest.
It works against you.
With
modesty.
I'm aggressive, I'm competitive, I'm adopting that, and I'm gonna get
But at the same time, you must know when.
For now, I don't care when. I'm just wanna cause disruption. That's my attitude now. I don't care when and how. I just wanna cause disruption.
You're a family man.
I want to be a
You're a family man, a husband, you have children.
You just don't understand what I've discovered. Watch the space. That's all I can say.
Okay, not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, our next.
I was just joking, guys.
Yeah, please relax.
Yeah.
Our next destination. Okay, we have to find a better way to present this, but I'll just read it out to you for formalities. The layers of urban decay in the Republic of South African cities. That is our next destination, which will be our flight TM015.
Yeah, the maybe negative impacts of urban decay.
Okay.
What sort of negative impact it has. Urban decay, it's what you see in every city in South Africa. Maybe in the exception of Cape Town. You go to Kabeja, you go to KZN, you go to Joburg.
Okay, so can we say positive and negative impacts of the decay?
No, there's no positive with the decay. There's nothing positive. The decay.
Okay, which decay specifically are we going to discuss?
Decay is one thing. It's hijacked buildings, it's dilapidated buildings, it's not maintained infrastructure. lack of prioritizing maybe even the finance aspect of it, and the long-term plans. There's
the
no
hostile
long-term plans.
takeover of buildings.
That's hijacking. But ETK, it's the worst performance of the urban space, especially to the physical aspect of it.
Okay, I think my understanding was somewhere else, but you've just
so the urban itself, it's made out of buildings, it's people, right? And its decay, it's it collapsing.
Okay, all right.
Whether rain, telecoms.
Can we look at the meaning of decay? I like
decay. When they say you
I like learning. You know.
You think you know the weight until you do that.
Yeah.
Rot or decompose
through the action of bacteria and fungi. Okay, let's look at the next.
More resistant decay, state of process of rotting or decomposition.
Okay.
That's why there's no positive.
All right.
So that's our next destination. So yeah, we will talk about all these 8 metros. I think there are 8 if not 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is our next destination, TM015, and as we are about to start the descent, ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts as usual. Put your seats in an upright position. Close your overhead storages as we prepare to land with this independent thinking, TM014.
Yeah.
We thank you.
Thanks
for your time to listen to our views.
Yeah, if you manage to get to this far with us, we really appreciate that and hope we are doing justice and our growth is evident and it's justifying the rewards that comes with subscribing. It justifies the rewards because they are rewards when you start pressing the notification buttons and pressing the likes, and if you want to extend it to also commenting, those are rewards, and those rewards I believe they come with good content, and I hope we are reaching those heights. If not, we have reached those heights. But as I've said initially, my mission or our mission is to ace this thing, and we should not give you reasons not to reward us, similarly like Jamukule did in actual fact. So yes, lastly, yes, there are 8 metros. I just wanted to qualify that, because we always do say one city.